The city of Burnaby, British Columbia, has erected concrete barriers to keep the anti-oil protesters there safe. I might actually be in favor of this, and today I'll tell you why. The city of Burnaby is ground zero for the protests against Kinder Morgan's Trans Mountain pipeline expansion, and the municipal government there seems pretty okay with it. Now, why do I say that? Well, according to Global News BC's Jordan Armstrong, the city is making it easier to be a lawless goon holding up the Canadian economy. Now, those are my words, not Armstrong's, but this is what Armstrong tweeted. City of Burnaby official says city spent $60,000 to install these temporary concrete barriers at anti-Kinder Morgan protest camp following complaints from protesters and area residents about their safety from passing vehicles. Do you see those barriers there? Those are there for the protesters because they don't know camping beside the road is dangerous. And that camp, well, it's an Occupy Redux hobo squat called Camp Cloud. 60,000 taxpayer dollars for brand new concrete barriers to keep people who are illegally camping beside a road safe and comfortable. How much would it cost to remove those tents and then just throw them in the dumpster? Because I'm pretty frugal, but I would chip in for that. How about these protesters quit squatting on public property, cancel their little illegal camping trip, and just go the hell home? They're breaking the law, and the protests are getting increasingly more violent. There have been at least 175 arrests, and some of those people were arrested for assaulting police officers who are enforcing a court injunction to keep these wackadoodles away from Kinder Morgan work sites and employees. Why is the city of Burnaby making life easier for these derelicts, this mixed bag of nuts? If civilized society has learned anything from the Occupy protests from 2008, it's to not offer these anti-Canadian extremists food and comfort. It only encourages them. They're sort of like stray cats that way. You can't give them any scraps. If you don't feed them, they just move on. What's next? Is the city of Burnaby going to give these protesters free Wi-Fi? I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, this is being done at the behest of Burnaby Mayor Derek Corrigan, who once proudly said he supports these protests and once even said he would participate in them and expressed a willingness to even go to the slammer if it meant blocking the Kinder Morgan pipeline. Corrigan told an anti-Kinder Morgan meeting in 2015, "We're going to ride this thing through to the very end because if we're not going to win it here, we're going to win it in the courts. And we're going to continue to fight. If we go to court, we're going to go to court with clean hands and ensure we've done everything humanly possible before I stand with you and probably 10,000 other people and get arrested to stop this pipeline." That's a hard thing to promise for a lawyer and a mayor. It will probably be the end of my career, but if I end my career on that note, it will be something that I'm very proud of, that I stood my ground. Now, this is the very same mayor who refuses to pay for the increased policing costs related to managing and containing these ongoing protests the mayor says he supports and would jump in on. But the mayor found money for concrete barriers, money to keep illegal kooks safe as they commit their illegal kookery, but nothing to help the cops. Cops who are under constant assault. Nothing to help the cops deal with the madness Corrigan invited into his city. Corrigan is on the side of the criminals' safety and not on the side of the cops who keep his community safe. But the more I think about this, the more I might think it's a good idea. Actually, I'd like the city of Burnaby to do much, much more to keep the protesters safe. I'm asking them to go much further. I want the concrete barriers to go all the way around the protesters to keep them really, really safe. And I think the barrier should be a lot higher, maybe 10 or 12 feet tall, for safety's sake. And wouldn't it be great if there was like razor wire on top of those 12-foot tall concrete barriers? Again, to keep the protesters safe from danger. And let's keep the protesters in there for a little bit, until all the danger against them has just gone away. And we should bring in some armed guards to really make sure no danger befalls these folks. Make that Camp Cloud look a lot like a Burnaby jail. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Fake news is everywhere, but the good news is so are we, because you can get The Rebel in a new mobile app. It's available on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Download it, give it a try, and take the other side of the story with you wherever you go.